Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming here and seeing us on the channel. I am so excited about today's interview because I get to introduce you to someone who has been an absolute light in our coaching community. She is energetic, she is inspiring, and she has made an incredible transformation, not just physically, but in her whole lifestyle. I first met Alpha in the most unexpected way through a faith community online. So from the moment that we got connected, I admired her dedication in her faith, her family, and her growth. She leads others with wisdom. She lifts people up, and she has a relentless drive to improve herself and those around her. She first joined our coaching in January 2024 and completed a 6 month program, which I co coached in. And then she continued on her own for 3 months. And then she took the next step into Voyage One of Body by Design. And let me tell you, she went all in. Now, I know so many of you have been asking about Body by Design. We had a couple of interviews, one with Ashley, one with my mom, which was pretty amazing. And yes, we currently have a waiting list, but don't worry, I've got something exciting that I'm working on. It's coming up soon. And that'll give you a chance to get a taste of what we do inside of this incredible program. So if you're not already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss what is coming up next. But right now, let's dive into Alpha's story because she has so much wisdom and motivation to share. All right, Alpha, tell us where you started. From the very beginning, we'll just dive right in. So happy to have you here. Take us back to the beginning. Before you started this journey in January 2024, what made you decide that it was time for a change?
Do we have enough time for the beginning, or you want me to fast forward some? No, just kidding.
Everything you want to say, go ahead.
Beginning was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. No, I have to tell you that the beginning, when I really took my health serious, it was 2019, 2017. It had 2017, it was before that, way before the pandemic. But I was going through a phase in my life where I knew that I'm getting older. The older you get, that fear of dying. So you want to make sure that your health is where it needs to be. Because if you continue in that track, you're not going to make it very long. So I started a journey where I needed to really take my health serious. And I decided that a fake heart attack and a clinical stroke really was enough to get me serious, but I just didn't have the guidance. So what happened was I actually didn't have a real heart attack. It wasn't at all. It was carbon dioxide had built up into my bloodstream because I actually suffocated myself in a sleeping bag. Don't do that, people. Do not put your head under a sleeping bag. You really need to breathe. So that actually, yeah, it caused major stress to my heart. And at middle of the night, I had my chest and my arm was in severe pain. I drove myself to the emergency room because I didn't want to get my husband awake and have him terrorized of what was happening. And when I was in the hospital, they're like, "Oh yeah, you had a heart attack." I go, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you have the enzymes are coming back and it's showing a heart attack." But the more they did search or testing, it wasn't a heart attack. It was carbon dioxide buildup in my bloodstream that stressed the heart. But my husband and I sat down and we were like, it was 3 weeks of recovery. And we were like, I really need to take this serious. I think I am mentally ready because right before that, I was doing a lot of already internal search and healing and a lot of childhood pain being resolved and restored. I said, I think I'm ready to let go of food as a form of comfort and a form of joy and happiness. It's time. So I went through a million other types I did the keto, I did the carnivore at one point, and the keto did not work well with my body structure, the way my body works. So it didn't do very well. And I was yo-yoing for a while. And then I got to a point where I shot down. I lost about 30 pounds. Let me make 20 pounds. I lost 20 pounds with the keto, but as everybody knows, as soon as you're back off of keto and you add carbs, there's no maintaining anything. I like just left it in the background and left it alone until I met you. And then meeting you and trusting you really helped me realize, okay, I trust her. I've seen her results. I see what happens. But most importantly, not only did I see the evidence, I trust you as a person to be able to guide me. And that's what was more lacking. That was what was lacking, is trusting someone who had a system and that would work, but also had a best interest, really desired to take care of my heart and soul in this journey, because that's one of the things that really needed to be protected in a journey like this, is the soul of the person, because that's why we emotionally eat. So that's where I
Wow.
started.
Yeah, so you were picking up on that kind of thing early. You realized that before you even started. So that's really interesting. And yeah, it really helps to know the person that you're working with, right? So what was your mindset around health back then? Because it sounds like you were coming around, but did you have a lot of struggle with your mindset before you started with our coaching programs?
I did, because believe it or not, there was still those elements of that voice in the back of your head that still said, be a little bit rebellious in your eating healthy. You still had that urge of, nobody's gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and it doesn't matter. And there was sessions or even weeks walking through the journey. Even though I did a lot of mental health and a lot of healing in that process, there was still that little rebellious soul inside that, going through the necessary steps during those first 3 months, of course, breaking those cycles and the thought cycle, I came across some of these stumbling blocks or some of these boulders that I would run into. And I'm like, no, that boulder, either I chisel my way through or I climb over you or walk around. But either way, I'm going to the other side. I'm not going to stay here and keep hitting this boulder that's not going to free me from not going to free me from the chains of imprisonment that is food. Food is to keep me alive, not to make me happy.
And also not to just make you feel imprisoned, right? Like you mentioned, a lot of people feel stuck where they are and they're not sure how to change it. So that's really interesting that you pointed out about feeling rebellious, because that's not abnormal, but not everybody recognizes that for a while. About there's a little rebellious streaks, like I want to do what I want to do, right? And you were so good at overcoming that. So we've tracked your weight loss from the beginning of our programs. I have 34.4 pounds in a total of 9 months. So then you had in between was that maintenance period where it may have been up a little bit and then coming back down. So just averaging out. So that comes out to about a pound per week during the coaching program times, which is actually a very healthy weight loss. It doesn't screw up your metabolism. So whenever we lose weight very quickly, which is what the American mindset especially is used to, just like I'm not losing weight fast enough. If we lose weight super fast, then our bodies don't do well with catching up. We go into like the survival mode, and then our metabolism adapts to a lower, and this is the mess that everybody's in. So now you've been able to go into this maintenance freedom phase, and you're not having all this weight gain. So that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
And one of the things I just wanted to mention was the mindset of not fast losing weight. I struggled with that mindset, having to break that mindset, because that is the first thing you want. It's like I'm suffering is what we called it, but we know that's not really what we were doing. We're not suffering. We're training ourselves to undo the things that we have done to ourselves. I do want to mention what you had said about the mindset of going fast. I want answers now. I want results fast, and I want a lot of results fast. And that's one of the things that really needed to break in me so that I can continue. So, because mine was a roller coaster. Not everybody had it the way I have it. And being in different groups, I noticed that a lot of people would just shed really fast and would maintain it. But I would shed it, gain, and sometimes it was like, it would mess with my mind But acceptance was really the only answer that I gave myself. You have to accept this is your body. It is okay. You're not going to do this forever. You're going to do this until it clicks that this is how you're going to live for the rest of your life. And it's good and it's going to be great for you. So being able to have that understanding that it's going to be a slow process and it's going to be ups and downs. But then one of the things that the coaches, you guys kept telling us is step back and look. And when I did step back and look, it went from up here and it was going that way. It wasn't going straight down like a slide. We had little, but it was still going down. So it was like, yes, there it is. My mind saw something to hold on to for acceptance. I am going down. It might not be a straight shot, but I'm going down and it's going to be great.
Wow. Yeah, that's such good points there too. And that's one of the reasons that we can't compare ourselves to others' journeys either, because everybody has something different going on. We have like different levels of insulin resistance and blood sugar imbalances and hormones of all, especially for the women, just hormones all over the place, different lifestyles, different emotional traumas in our background, all so many things to deal with. And every single one of those things is part of our journey. And learning how to incorporate a healthy lifestyle into our current lives, whatever we're going through, right? Okay, so let's break this down. Your transformation wasn't just about weight. So this is what we've been talking about. You completely changed your lifestyle. Let's start with food. What were some of the biggest shifts that you made?
Vegetables. The first week, it was like, oh, I'm free-ish. And every day, and I would stop a whole week. I didn't even heat up my vegetables today. And then I would notice what is my go-to. It was always a yellow or carb. And then I'm like, and the end of that week, I sat down and go, did you just realize what you've done this whole week? I mean, where did your greens go? Like you did not actively choose. When you're hungry, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. What did you go do? You went and got a yellow. You didn't go and get a green, or you didn't add to a green. So one of the things that I say, okay, this is something that permanently needs to change. So now every single day for the rest of my life, I have 4 greens. And it fills, it really, I recognize that if you have the hearty greens, the good hearty greens that are low inflammatory, they fill you, and I'm satisfied, and I feel like I have a well balanced diet because now that nobody's watching me, nobody has their eyes on me. If I've chosen this for myself, a well balanced diet keeps me it keeps me healthy, it keeps me satisfied, and I don't have to be as hungry as often as I need. And I don't see it in the scale. Most importantly, I don't see it in the scale or on my clothes being tight.
Oh, yeah, good point. So this is just one of the problems that we have. A lot of the women that come to me will tell me, I hardly eat anything, but I can't lose the weight. And what happens is because they're not eating enough, first of all, their body's in starvation mode. So it's holding on to everything. It lowers the metabolism. It's holding on to everything it gets. And when you go long periods of time without eating, then your bodies need something now, something I can absorb quickly for some quick energy. And that's where the carb craving comes in. So we just incorporate that as part of our lifestyles. Like you immediately go for the yellow, the carb container, right? Anything carb. And the more in our lifestyle, the more sugar, the more more energy that you can get out of it, even if it's terrible energy where you spike up and hit bottom afterwards. That's the sugar and the starches and stuff, right? Then that's what your body wants because it thinks that's all there is. And it's not getting the nutrients that it needs. Yeah, when you are eating the right amount of food consistently, then you're not craving carbs like that so much anymore. Did you find that you were with this plan that you're eating a lot more food than you thought you would be?
And you do. It is my 12-year-old, he's 13 tomorrow. Yay! He actually we've been having issues with him with chronic sickness. Like he's always sinus infections, always congestion. But then we sat down. I said, I'm sick and tired of being sick. We got to do something. And I know you don't eat good because I raised you. So I know your choices are not great. We're going to change that. So he started himself doing this process. So I know that I'm giving him the food. He's, Mom, I'm full still from the last time. I go, I know. And you still haven't finished for the food for the rest of the day. So keep it up because it fills you to the point where you don't want to go grab something that's not good in the refrigerator or the pantry.
Yeah, so good. And then your body is getting all kinds of nutrients, and your skin starts to get more beautiful, and your hair starts getting thicker, and nails and everything, and you
Right?
energy.
Yeah. You're like, is this a side effect that we are supposed to expect?
So much good comes out of it. So during the program, did you have cravings? Like, how did you handle that? Like your tough days?
I noticed that my cravings came when I was down. So it's one of those things that I needed to just figure out. I'm down. Why am I craving? It's because I'm down. I remember that at one point I was sick. I ended up being sick, and it wasn't. I think it wasn't a bug or a bacteria. I think what ended up happening is I hurt myself in the gym, and I had lactic acid building up, so it made me feel like I had the flu. So in that sense, I was like, I'm not feeling well. I ate a whole bag of Takis. It was terrible. The
I
next
think I remember that.
I like gained 4 pounds in one sitting. And the
Oh my
next day
gosh.
I got on there, what did I do? Oh, you're sick. You wanted to self-care in the manner of not being responsible or having the due diligence to plan. And you didn't want to plan. You just wanted to lay down, vegetate, and then go stuff yourself whenever you felt hunger. So I was like, no, 4 pounds is a lot for me. For me, 4 pounds is almost devastating. So it was like, no, we're not gonna do that. So what I ended up doing is when I have that craving that I need something sweet, I would take a protein shake. Is really what I ended up doing. Is just taking a sweet something that a fruit that would be sweet that's on plan and then make something glorious out of it because the thing that you guys have provided is those recipes that it comes to a point where my brain and my tongue this connection doesn't really want that sugar like there's a metabolic change in your body where you're okay with berries without sugar like that's sweet like it ends up becoming satisfying so being able to get one of those recipes that can satisfy that craving and you're in the plan you'll be successful you just have to
Oh.
recognize if it's emotional deal with the emotion as opposed to burying your face in ice cream.
Yeah, because we have all those habits from growing up. What did our parents do with us when we got sick? My mom took me out and got me ice cream, or she gave me saltines and ran and got 7 Up or something to calm the stomach, all this sugar and stuff. And so we have these comfort foods when we're not feeling well. We feel like we need to have those, and it's doing the opposite of helping us to improve our health.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
you,
remember Lipton tea. That was our thing. My mom would give us a bag of Lipton tea, but what the noodles are all orange yellows, and then on top of that, it's all the sodium and the chemicals that are in it that's not really soothing. So recognizing that, okay, I'm sick, instead of running for a yellow, broth is great. Let's do some broth. Let's throw some greens and let's make that the new comfort food when we're sick.
yes, I love it. That's something I loved about this so much. I knew when I was at my top weight, I was like, I want something that's going to be healthy and balanced. I don't want to eliminate all these foods from my diet and feel like I have to live on meat only for the rest of my life or salad only for the rest of my life, right? Like we're given all of these foods to eat from and none of them are bad. They are food. So now food that is modified and processed and all of this, it brings it further and further away from the perfection that was created for our bodies to work with. Fruit is nature's sweets, right?
They really are, especially a mango, good ripe mango. It's still on plan.
Yes, it is. So, it's so good. Okay, so let's talk fitness now. You've gone from homeschooling full time to part homeschooling and working full time at home on a treadmill.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's right.
And you also started going to a gym. And so, what was all that transition like? Because all of that was happening while you were in the first 6 months of the program.
Yeah, it was like what am I made out of? What kind of strength can I muster up here to do this transition? Because it's very extremely stressful. And you only have so many hours in the day. And when you're sitting, because I'm at desk, I'm at home office at a desk 8 hours a day. And I saw that was slowing down my progress. So something has to happen. I can't leave the desk. I'm stuck to this desk all day. So what do? I bought my little best friend here, which is my treadmill for the desk treadmill, as well as I would go after work either to the gym, and I have a big treadmill here in my house in my property, and I also have Planet Fitness. And all of this was one of the things I learned with this journey. I love to work out. I might have never bought I might have never done it by myself, and if somebody pressures me, be like, you got to do this, I'm like, huh, I don't think so. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. No. When I realized I can do this because it's good for me and I found the benefit of doing it, I totally fell in love with it. Like, I can do this all day long for hours if my body allows me to. I have a 45-year-old body, so it's not going to happen all day, every day. No, it hurts. I have muscles that are sore, joints that hurt. So I'm like, no, take it easy. But it's being able to be mobile was one of the things that I realized is one of the most important things. So in this life of transition, I have to fit in mobility. I have to fit in walking. I have to fit in being able to exercise. Okay, maybe when I go out into town because of travel time, I had to 30 minutes of travel, so I could only work out this much because I have to be home to do other responsibilities and duties. Maybe I won't go to town every day. That's why we got a treadmill, a big one here. I signed up for 5K. I'm like, we're going to do this 5K, and I'm running it. I'm not walking it. We're running this. I've never run. I did cross country when I was in 7th grade. And you know what happened? I quit before the season began because I'm like, I'm not a runner. I don't do it. I was in 7th grade. And now I'm 45 and I am running 3 miles. I'm like, I redeemed 7th grade cross country.
That's awesome. Wow. So yeah, here you are. Here you are. You're doing it. There's so much inspiring about this. A lot of people will say that they're too busy to work out. So you
You make
are,
it happen. You choose to be too busy. You choose not to make time. Because let me tell you, this walking treadmill, I might not be jogging. And I have people saying, are you okay? You're breathing a little hard. Yes, I'm fine. Don't worry. How can I help you? I have my supervisors, you took a really deep breath. Is everything fine? Oh, yeah, we're just walking. Everything's great.
you're making it happen. That's so amazing. I'm so impressed with how you've been able to just pull it all in because I know that your schedule is very busy and American schedules are just busy because we have so much opportunity to fill it up.
Yes.
So it's our lifestyle here, it's our culture. So I know that you had tough days where you maybe didn't always feel like working out. How did you work through that?
I got up and I said, if it was your child sitting down and he said, I don't feel like it, what do you do? Suck it up, buttercup, we're moving. And that's what I tell my children. So you have to tell yourself, suck it up, buttercup, we're moving. But when I started, it's, oh God, I don't want to do this. But 5 minutes into it, like, let's do this.
Yeah, you just know that once you do start, you're going to feel better and you'll feel better afterwards. So, we've talked a little bit about mindset, the mindset piece. This is one area where you truly shined in the group. You really kept the team motivated and stayed upbeat even through all the challenges, even when some of the people in your team were just bleh and not really doing their things, but you just radiated positivity and it really lifted the whole group. So, how did you stay so focused and energetic?
I chose me, and it had nothing to do with other people's choices because at the end of the day, people are going to be people and they're going to choose their attitude and their perspective. I can't allow me to be brought down or be elevated by someone else's mood. It has to be mine. It comes from me, it's for me. And that's the only way that I know that I can live life because if I allow other people's moods and attitudes be my motivator, I'm always going to be like this. So I'm like, no, we're gonna have this, and that's because I'm choosing it, and it's for me,
Mhm.
and others will benefit. It. You're welcome. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't, not in an arrogant manner, but it's just like, I'm doing this for me. You're just along for the ride. You want to come with me? Let's go. We'll have a party. But if you don't want to come with me, I'll see you later. Love you. Bye.
Yeah, you can jump back on anytime.
Yes.
So, since I mentioned in the beginning that we met in our faith community, what role did faith play in your journey?
Huge. It was a big mindset changer because that one of the things that I have in my faith, what we study is the mindset, the way of thinking is we're not good, we're not bad. It's a way of thinking. God created everything and everything is good. But when you, as a human being, you have negative and positive traits, it's not you're an evil person or you're a good person. It's, well, you'll be considered an evil person if more of your habits are negative, then it would be, you can be considered a person who perceives life in a negative way can be evil, but there's always good in everyone. Doesn't matter how evil you are, you have a tendency to still do something good. So having that understanding, that mindset, there's a system that's called Musar, where it's a way of studying. It's a ethical, moral perspective where what you do is you take your traits and you balance them. Everyone has patience. Some have patience, some have patience. Everyone gets angry. Some get angry or frustrated, because that's another word of anger, or some people get anger. So it's all about measurements and how you balance it. So everything is like in the tip of a scale, like the scale of justice. And the scales of justice is, okay, where are you in that trait? You have zeal. Okay, do you have a lot of zeal, a lot of alacrity, or do you have a little bit of alacrity and you have no motivation? You can be a successful person if you have a lot of zeal, but if you have too much zeal and you don't have enough compassion or care or mercy, that zeal can mow over people and ruin relationships. So it's balance. It's having the ability to have that balance. The same thing comes with that mentality. There's a lot of different character traits that we have within us that help with having good relationships or being able to deal with strangers properly, or being successful in your relationships, being successful in your business. All of these traits make us who we are. And if we have them balanced, then we can either conquer the world or we can destroy the world. Or we can
Ah,
bring good and bring life, or we can murder and bring death. And you don't have to physically murder someone to bring murder or bring death. You can do it simply by the sharpness of your tongue and
mm.
devastating someone with your words. And I did that for 5 years before even meeting you. I was doing that. And that started that process of healing what I was called my internal child. And she needed a lot of love and a lot of restoration. And that process brought me to that realization. Okay, I have emotionally healed, I have mentally did my job of restoring. There's no more, there's no scars that needed to be done, but there's still another element: mind, soul, check. The last one is body. So this is when I realized I had the tools necessary to be able to fight or overcome those urges to run away and walk away from something that takes dedication, time, discipline. Discipline is the biggest one of all. To do this, you have to be disciplined. And discipline is a choice. And you can learn to be disciplined. It's not, oh, I'm not that person. Those are excuses. You can learn discipline. That's another trait that you can learn and acquire. And that really has helped me stay focused and stay centered in continuing this body healing process.
Wow, that's so good. So it sounds like this came at just like the perfect time for you, that puzzle piece that just fit right in with that journey. And
It,
what we teach really aligned a lot with what you were going through with your studies there, huh?
absolutely. And a lot of the things that you were going over, it hit a lot of those mindset process already. So as we were going through the class, I'm like, yes, yes, I know. Yes, check. Okay, let's do this homework. Oh, there's a little thorn there I hadn't dealt with. Let's deal with it.
Yeah, some of it is hard work. Some of it is hitting on some places where we can feel very resistant to dealing with, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
and this guy is with me for the rest of my life. 3 of these make a gallon.
Yes, I do that too. It's just It's part of my life now, right? So, do you have any advice for someone who's struggling to stay positive on their health journey?
My advice really is always reach out to someone who can lift you up. Don't do it alone. That's one of the things that, like you guys always say, if you guys are if you're hiding, I don't hear from you. I know what's up. You guys are hiding. There's a reason. So definitely reaching out to a friend, even if you don't feel like it. You're gonna have those tantrum days where you just kicking your feet and you don't want anybody to see you because you want to be able to just vomit on yourself with your bad habits. But you don't. It's if it gets to that point, reach out to someone who will understand and will be able to work it with you. Do not fight this alone. There is a reason why there's the group. There's a reason for that. We can always convince ourselves to do the wrong thing, but someone else watching you, you're going to feel that you might not do something wrong because I'm being watched. And I really believe that having that accountability is extremely huge, and find that person in the group that you feel a kinship with, or you feel like you really have that connection to, that you can trust, that will be able to pull you out of, don't jump the cliff, come back.
Yeah, and it's a habit that a lot of us, that especially if we've been overweight and have a lot of emotional eating habits and triggers and things like that, that are just part of our lives, and we hide. And so, as part of what we do with the accountability in this group, which is what I have felt like has been the one of the biggest successes in this journey, is the kind of accountability that we offer, the level. It's not like just getting with a friend and saying, "Hey, let's go on a diet together."
Absolutely, it's not at all, because both of you could convince each other, we did great today, let's go to the ice cream parlor.
Yes, yes, and yep, we've all had that experience. Okay, so your journey hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, as you mentioned. You faced financial challenges and a huge life transition, and you still made this a priority, and you've given some great tips on that. And you already talked about how you pushed through some of those obstacles. I have a lot of people that will say that they can't afford healthy food, they can't afford to hire a coach to be in a group like this. And so there's financial challenges. And I know you had some financial challenges. How did you navigate those challenges while prioritizing your health?
America doesn't really know how to budget. Let's just put it that way. Not a lot of people know how to budget. They don't know how to micromanage their finances either. Those are two very important things, very important elements, that if you're not one who is disciplined in your finances, you're going to struggle. It boils down to, what do you find to be more important? If this is really important to you, then you're going to make it happen. You're going to learn to micromanage. You're going to learn to have to do these things. I'm sure that there is a moment in time where you had to choose, I only have these $5, and these $5 either is going to go towards something really good or something really fancy dancy that I don't need, but I want. And people will most likely have had several the opportunities where they've decided it's going to go where the luxury, where it's really great and wonderful, versus what I really want or what I really need. And at this point in our lives, we have to decide, has to be a season in my life where I have to take serious, and I have to make it me. I have to prioritize. Yes, it's medicine. Medicine is not good. Nobody likes medicine, but we know that this medicine is going to make me happy, healthy, late in a little bit. In a little bit. I only have to take the medicine for a short period of time so that I can get better, so I can go back outside and play. So if you're taking those $5 and you're going to the store and getting a Starbucks, guess what? Those $5 could be going towards your monthly payment for this medicine that's for a short period of time, so that you can have longevity and enjoy life. And micromanaging helps with your finances, being able to look at all of the things that we're doing. Okay, maybe we have a lot of fluff. We have Netflix, we have Prime, we have all the extra fluffs that come with subscription. Look at it, figure it out. You can figure this out. It can happen. And if it ends up, it's still not enough, then I guess it's time for you to discover okay, I need to get another job. I need to increase my income because I need to get more money coming in so that I can do this. We do make excuses because at the end of the day, we don't want to do it.
Yes. So it comes down to excuses. I know. And that's such a hard kind of pill to swallow. And we recognize that sometimes, other times we don't. It's just, we don't realize how much we're wasting on so many things that are actually not good for us and making the problem worse. That's time and money. And so both of those can be our worst wasters and they can be our biggest excuses, right? So when we
Absolutely.
want something to happen, we can make it happen. I heard the example one time of like you're at work and you get a call that the house is flooding and you have to do something about that. Are you going to say, I don't have time for that? Or are you going to talk to your boss and say, I've got to get off of work,
Gotta go home.
take
I
care of
have to
this?
save my house.
Yeah, and I'm going to find the money to do this, right? Because that's when it becomes priority. So why isn't our health that level of priority? That's when we get to make that decision and discover the reality. In 5 years, if you keep going the way you're going, are you going to be happy with where you are? If you leave that water heater or whatever busted in your house going like that for 5 years, you're not going to have a house to live in.
But it
It,
goes back to our mindset also because that house is an investment. That house is something that's longevity. I can make money out of that. We are so reversed. We're so upside down. Those are tangible things that I can say, oh, yeah, I'm going to sacrifice for that because that's an investment. But my health is not an investment. It should be an investment if you're 60 years old and you want to run around with your grandkids.
yeah, I know. I'm seeing so many family members that are dying way too early in their 50s and their 60s. That's not even like the average lifespan that we've had in the past in the United States, at least the recent past. But it's so sad because they had so much more life to live. And we don't ever get to decide how long we're going to live, but we sure can live healthier and better to possibly extend our lives and live more vibrantly during that time.
Absolutely. Quality of life, definitely.
Yes. So, one of my favorite things about transformation stories like yours is that they don't just change you, they impact everybody around you. And I heard you mention your son and how he's starting to make some healthier choices. So, how has your healthier lifestyle influenced your family, maybe your faith community? I don't know if you have people at work that you interact with, but just generally around you. How has that affected other people?
Well, it was a slow process because again, this is very strict. You can't just live by your whim. You can't just live by desires. You have to have discipline. So not everybody was on board with you. I'm surrounded by rebellious people. I'm just kidding. So it took a while for them to start saying, "Oh wow, look at you, and you're still there, and you haven't gone back, and there's proof in the pudding." Not enough for them to take it upon themselves, because again, you really have to desire to do this. But the people who I am surrounding myself with, they don't have problems. They didn't have illnesses, and they're not overweight, so they don't really need the level as I did. But one of the things that has been a side effect of all of this is I haven't gotten sick a day since I started this program. I'm not sure if it's I don't know. I don't know if it's the red juice. I don't know if it's the lemon because I do lemon essential oils under my tongue. I do like 10 drops every single morning since day one with warm water. That's the first thing I do. I do not put anything in my mouth until that has been in my system. Flush everything out, give my liver some help. So I do that every day. Plus my NingXia Red. I will have NingXia Red even if it's 2 ounces for the rest of my life. I'll be doing NingXia Red. So I'm not sure which one it is, but we've had the flu comes in and out like a revolving door, and we've gotten the head cold, the rhino. We've had all of these illnesses. I have not been down not once. And I'm the
Wow.
one that takes care of everyone. So, and they're like, what are you doing? So people are like, what are you doing? Now I'm hearing people saying, give me some of that red juice. I said, go buy yourself your own. This is mine.
That makes such a difference. That's something that turned our family health around. It's just something as simple as getting on that high antioxidant supplement juice is it's amazing. And that's one of the products we do require in a program for a good reason, because when we're losing weight, we're losing nutrients, whether we want to or not. It's just part of the process. It's a little stress for our bodies and washing out the detox and everything else. So it's absolutely necessary part of it, which a lot of people miss in their weight loss. They don't even realize that they need to have something to help replenish a lot of those nutrients. All right, so Alpha, you have done so much already, but I know you're always striving for more. What's next for you? Do you have new fitness goals? Another big milestone? I know you have your 5K. What's next?
I have to get my body adjusted. After this 5K, I started going to a chiropractor for self-love and self-care. I'm like, I need to go to a masseuse. I need to get my joints all fixed up. What is next? One of the things that this journey, that being able to get a hold of control, take control back of my health and being able to live a healthier life has actually given me the opportunity to be able to focus on other things that I do find really important. Like my faith journey is extremely important to me. I put that on pause just so that I can retrain my brain and be able to get into a healthy place where I'm healthy and strong. My heart is extremely strong. I am able to do things that I have never been able to do. A lot of it has evolved like, okay, I want to go hiking and I want to hike the highest mountain and I want to go do some Pilates on the beach. And all of that kind of at this point in my life is, I don't find that so interesting anymore. But what I really do find interesting is being able to go back and dive into my faith and to be able to take power back of my health. I have clarity. I'm able to think better. I'm able to absorb things. I'm able to study and grasp, get a hold of something that in my mind with foggy brain has always been my syndromes, but I haven't had that anymore. It's like it's clearing up. So being able to balance my study life as a student, my work, and my domesticness, being able to balance all of that is really what you guys have trained me to do. Yes, I'm naturally a disciplined person, but forcing myself to include working out in my schedule, planning my meals, all of this hasn't stopped. All it's done is be able to now bring that focus into another area in my life. I need my health. I need longevity. Whatever God has made me to be, I want to be able to do it mentally, clearly, with strength, with health, that I'm not sick because I'm overweight. I'm not having heart palpitations. I don't have to worry about my health. I can focus on being free to do other things in my life that I really want to do because my health is already, it's part of who I am now. It's like, it's my natural me. And now I know that I can live a healthy life without worrying about, I might have a heart attack later because I'm not eating well.
Yeah, and that brain fog is real. That's when we have our blood sugar out of whack, our insulin all over the place, and there's cravings because the hormones are just all a mess. Then you just can't think clearly, and you have all of these addictions that you can't control. And so, yeah, getting those in order, absolutely, that makes things so much easier. Yeah,
Confidence is another one that I've acquired. I've gained confidence. I am a leader here in this community, and a lot of the times that kept me from being able to do more as a leader was the lack of confidence. What are gonna think of me? I look like a blob, and look at that video and look how I look. I'm not gonna do that. I know, like, you still, as superficial as that may sound, that can stop someone from being able to move mountains, if that makes sense.
yeah, because you're an example. You're setting an example for other people, and you feel responsible for what that example is. As a leader, that's definitely something that can hold us back, and putting that in the right perspective of understanding it's not necessarily being self-centered about it. It's what kind of an example am I for the people that are following, right? Okay, I know you're in maintenance right now and you have some other health goals and you have your 5K coming up. So I know that what you are choosing for your health journey moving forward is going to be great and continue to be an example for your family, for your faith community. If you could give one piece of advice to somebody thinking about joining Body by Design, what would that advice be?
Whatever preconceived ideas or notions or fears that you have for entering into a program like this, put them aside, give it a chance. Don't be afraid of it. Hesitance to join is just goes back to being afraid. If you're going to be afraid of living life, you're going to miss out on good opportunities, on greatness, on things that if you live your life with fear, anticipation, and hesitation, you're never going to experience the fruit of your labor of hard work. You're never going to experience what it is to be to celebrate the rewards that come from hard work. Hesitation is just fear, and fear will steal your joy and will steal you from opportunities that you'll never experience or be able to taste if you don't go through struggles.
Wow, Alpha. So you're amazing, first of all. And I know that so many people are going to be inspired by your story. I know they have already, but just watching the video, I know that people are going to be inspired. So thank you for being here and thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for coaching me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm so glad that you joined us for that. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I need this kind of transformation in my life, then listen up. Body by Design is currently on the waiting list, but I have something special coming soon. It's a short-term program where you can get a taste of what we do, as I mentioned in the beginning, what we do in Body by Design, to start making some real progress and see what's possible for you. So here's what you're going to do. Number one, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel because I'll be sharing those details soon. Number two, drop a comment below if you're interested, and I will personally message you about open spots. And then number three, if you loved Alpha's story, then hit the like button and share this video with others, especially with somebody who needs this inspiration today. I can't wait to see you inside of this next program. Stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next video.